Okay, guys, so now that we are jumping into cell division, we're going to be talking about mitosis and meiosis, and these processes involve chromosomes. Now, you've been introduced to the term chromosome when we did like vocab notes at the beginning of this unit, where I introduced DNA, genes, and chromosomes very briefly. So today I wanted to reintroduce that term, go through some notes. Some parts of these notes will be pretty similar to what you've seen already, and other things have been added to them. So to start us off, in this top corner here, we have DNA, and we can see that DNA is in its double helix form. Now, so far throughout this unit, we've been talking about the importance of DNA, genes, and remember, genes are specific strands or specific portions of these DNA strands, and each gene codes for a specific protein, and that protein influences the expression of a specific trait. So we can see on this DNA strand here, we have 3 genes that code for 3 specific traits for eye color, hair color, and disease resistance of some sort. Okay, as a refresher, where do we find the DNA? Well, that's found in the nucleus of a cell. And just like last time, I have all these little colorful squiggles inside the nucleus. Each of these different colors would be representative of a different strand of DNA. And I mentioned this last time, but DNA is, most of the time in that relaxed or tangled state. Okay, so we can see here that we have our strands of DNA in that double helix form. Well, most of the time when that DNA, as it's in the nucleus, it's in this relaxed, tangled state. And these strands inside the nucleus, you'll often see them referred to as chromatin, or looking at a specific strand that you might see it called a chromatid. And this relaxed state, when it comes to the cell cycle that you'll be learning about, this is during the process of interphase. During interphase, that's when we have DNA replication, which we just learned about. There's also some other metabolic activity that happens within the cell. Okay, for, in here, I have all these different colors, and that's to remind you that humans have different pieces of DNA. It's not just one. And in fact, humans have 46 pieces of DNA, or even 46 chromosomes. Okay, we say 46, but it's actually 23 pairs, because you get one member of the pair from mom and one member of the pair from dad. Okay, so a little bit more about chromosomes. Well, chromosomes are actually formed during mitosis, which we're learning about today, and that's a type of cell division. So after interphase, our cells enter mitosis, or cell division. So again, in interphase, we have DNA replication happening, where the DNA is being copied. And then our cells go through cell division, or mitosis. When I say cells go through mitosis, we're talking about body cells, which are also known as somatic cells. So really any cell besides our reproductive cells. like our sperm cells or egg cells. Okay, chromosomes, as you may know them, look kind of like these jelly bean shapes, or even an X, as some people refer to them. And when it comes to chromosomes, the reason why they look like that is that it is tightly condensed DNA. So DNA actually condenses into chromosomes for mitosis, or I should say during mitosis. And by condensing, we mean that the DNA tightly coils itself. And that's what I tried to show here. This coiling of a single chromosome or a duplicated chromosome. And this DNA is coiled around proteins called histones. So up here I have a little diagram of that. In red we have a histone protein, and the DNA kind of coiled around that histone. So there's tons of histones that the DNA is coiled around, and then those are tightly packed into that jelly bean shape, is what I'm going to refer to them as. Okay, here we can see again, this is a single chromosome, and then a duplicated chromosome. So a duplicated, this is what we will get at the beginning of mitosis because of that DNA replication that happened in interphase. So with DNA replication, we now have 2 copies of the DNA. And then with mitosis, with the first stage of mitosis, we have this condensing of that replicated DNA into this duplicated chromosome. Now some terminology, as a refresher again, with our chromosomes, we have these little dots here. Those are called the centromeres, or the centromere. And that's what our spindle fibers are going to attach to in cell division, and is actually going to help pull them apart from one another, these duplicated chromosomes. And as a reminder, each chromosome is one full piece or one molecule of DNA. And another term that you will hear used is chromatid. So here for this single chromosome, and this is also known as a chromatid, and that is one full piece or molecule of DNA that has been tightly coiled. Where this can get confusing is that this single chromosome is known as a chromosome, as one, but so is a duplicated chromosome. This is referred to as a single chromosome, and that's because when we're talking about chromosomes and chromosome numbers, we go by centromeres. So we have one centromere here connecting these 2 chromatids. Okay, but although this is one chromosome, it is one chromatid, and this duplicated chromosome is known as one chromosome, but it consists of 2 chromatids. Remember, this is duplicated, so these are known as sister chromatids. Okay, so that was just a quick intro, again, to chromosomes. We will keep learning about chromosomes and talking about cell division, and then jumping into genetics. So hopefully this little intro has helped.